Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm making a movie. It should be the first movie that I make for deliver you the chapter 1. Yes, this is a introduction that will talk overview about statistics or background statistics. Okay, let's go to chapter 1 together. Chapter 1, the title of chapter 1 is What is Statistics? Okay, maybe you can see this from textbook. I think all of you have this book in your hand, and that you can together with textbook using and watching this movie that I will post on YouTube. Okay, so chapter 1, what is statistics? Okay, look at the content. This is the content, the goals that we need to achieve when we completed chapter 1. The first one is you can define, after complete this chapter, you can define what is meant by statistics, and the list ways you can list the ways that statistics is used for daily life. 2, you can explain what is meant by descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So there are two types of statistics in this case. One, descriptive statistics, and the other one is inferential statistics. And you need to know, after completing this chapter, you need to know what are the difference between statistics, two types of statistics here, descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. 3, yes, after completing the chapter, you need to understand the difference between a sample and a population. This is in terms of data set. So data set in terms of sample data set, or in terms of population data set. 4, after completing this chapter, you need to you can distinguish between a qualitative variable and a quantitative variable. So in order to study statistics or mathematics, normally we use variable. Okay, variable should be come from the word vary. Vary that means change. So variable, it should be changeable, something that always change from time to time, from condition to condition, or maybe from period to period, something like this. So variable that we use for study statistics could divide it by 2, qualitative and quantitative. 5, after completing this chapter, you can distinguish between a discrete variable and a continuous variable. Okay, discrete and continuous differently. Continuous is mean non-stop. That discrete is like a stop and then start again, or stop, start again. But this is not about stop and start again. This is about number. We can see this later on when we go to the point about discrete variable and continuous variable. 6, after completing this chapter, you can distinguish among levels of measurement for statistics. Based on this textbook, there are 4 levels of measurement. They are nominal level, ordinal, interval, and ratio. And then you need to understand and can give definition the terms that we use normally using in these statistics courses. Those one is mutually exclusive and exhaustive. So yes, we can after completing this chapter, you need, or you can provide, or you can offer the definition of what does it mean mutually exclusive, what does it mean exhaustive. Okay, so there are 6 points for chapter 1. Okay, look at this again after you complete this chapter, and then try to test yourself. This is about the history, background or history about statistics. The term statistics, or the word statistics, derive from the word state. State here, don't confuse like state as a province, as a city, for example, United States. No, this is not state, that one. State here refer to status. Okay, statistics derived from the word state. State, that means state does not state in terms of province, in terms of city, something like this. The word state was used to refer to a collection of facts. A collection of facts or interest. For example, birth, number of baby born today, number of couple married today, or number of people died today. This is a state that the city or the country has. Or for example, yes, in terms of your family, something like this. How much you earn, how much you spend, this is your family status in terms of income or expenditure. So the terms or the word statistics derived from the word state, that used in order to describe, in order to explain a collection of facts of interest. Okay, so the word statistics was seen in 1662, that used by English tradesman John Grant, published a book titled Natural and Political Observations made upon bills of morality. Okay, I think if you look at this one, statistics is not only used in that year 1662. Statistics was used before that year, long time ago. But before that year, there were no significant evidence that statistics was used. But normally in the daily life, people always use statistics in order to make their decision, in order to do something for their life. But before that one, maybe there is no significant documents that we can recognize. But however, when we go to our country, when you go to maybe Siem Reap, you can see on the wall of Angkor Wat, you can see the writing there. This is statistics. When you can read those writing, you can understand the situation at that year. So the writing here, they wrote the state maybe Angkor Wat time there, how they build something like this, or how prosperity was it at that time, or maybe the war, something like this, what was happened in terms of war. Okay, those one also statistics. So it was the collection of facts. Yes, when you can read writing on the wall, our Angkor Wat temple wall, you can understood. Yes, you can understand. You can understand what was happened during that years, Angkor Wat's time or the Angkor Wat era. Okay. So, but however, based on this one, statistics, yes, it was used by English tradesman John, and he published a book that titled Natural and Political Observations made upon bills of morality. Then the idea of collecting data was spread to Italy, not only English, this one is English, to Italy and to the other European countries. In terms of statistics, which was used until the 18th century as a shorthand for descriptive science of stats. So yes, the statistic was used from time to time, but during period to period, or maybe from generation from generation, the word or the term statistic was developed in order to use in order to describe the changing or development of society. Up to 18th century, statistics was as a shorthand for descriptive science of stats. And to 19th century, statistics became increasingly identified with numbers. Yes, we have probability theory. So statistics was developed from time to time in order to catch up, in order to use it for explain the situation from time to time. Okay, so this is a short description about history, statistic background, something like this. But actually, statistics was used long time ago, not only in 1662 like English tradesman published here. Two of the most important areas of applied statistics in the earlier 20th century were population biology and agriculture. Okay, so the earlier 20th century, statistics was used in two main sectors. Population is about people, about it's something about people, male, female, birth, death, marriage, migration, something like this, or sometimes related to work as well, and also agriculture, because at that century, the earlier century, agriculture was a very significant compared with the others, because at that time developed country right now, they based on developed country right now, at that time they were developing country, they based on agriculture, because agriculture played an important role to run the economy for those countries at that year. But now those countries become developed, that's why agriculture not really more significant, industry and service more significant. Okay, so how can we know that those developed countries, for example United States, industrial or service play an important role in order to run the economy? By looking at statistics data. Okay, by looking at statistical data or information with statistics, you can understand this country have should grow, this country have a problem, something like this. Nowadays the ideas of statistics are everywhere. That's why, because statistics was important for people's life, that's why people from day to day they try to take the idea from statistics, they take the techniques from statistics in order to use for their daily life. That's why these days the idea of statistics, collecting data, analyzing data, publishing data, are everywhere. Descriptive statistics, yes, like I mentioned earlier, descriptive statistics, it should be divided by two: descriptive statistics, and the other one inferential statistics, or you can call inferential statistics or statistical inference. So descriptive statistics are featured in every newspapers, magazine, textbook, or maybe a printing, something like this. Okay, you can see that one. When you go to textbook, they write the author describe something for you. You can read it and you can understand it. This is we call descriptive statistics. Inferential statistics or statistical inference has become important to main field or main sector in people's life. For example, health, marketing, quality control, education, accounting, economics, methodology, or forecasting, or something like this. Okay. Statistics has indeed become ingrained or deep-rooted in our intellectual heritage. That's why, because statistics, that's why you can understand, or you can learn, or you can understand, or you can focus, or you can analyze something. That's why statistics have become indeed root our intellectual heritage. The other point, this is a question: why do we study statistics? Okay, why do we study statistics? They are based on this textbook. There are three reasons why do people study statistics. First reason, for taking statistical course in order to understand. Taking statistical course in order to understand the numerical information that we always encounter everywhere, every time. Okay, so when you open any textbook, you can see number. Those number tell you something, but if you don't understand this number, maybe you don't know what does it mean, this number. What does this number tell you? Okay, so the first reason why do you take statistics course, or why do we study statistics? Because we want to understand numerical information that we encounter, that we trace is everywhere and every time. For example, yes, this is maybe a little bit old data. Due to the Cambodia daily, now Cambodia daily is not available. Due to the Cambodia daily in October 2015, the Cambodia minimum wage for workers, garment factory worker, is 140 per month. Okay. This is 2015. Maybe I have one question for you. You need to find and answer my question. How much is minimum wage for worker in garment factory in textile in 2019? Sorry, 2019. How much is it? So you can find, this is the first question that I ask you in order to find out the answer. How much is the minimum wage for workers working in garment factory in textile? While based on Cambodia 2015, 140. The other point, Cambodia GDP growth rate was about 7.1%, 7.4% and 7.0% in 2011, 13 and 2015 respectively. This is based on ADB. Okay, so in order to avoid plagiarism, when you take data from any sources, don't forget to cite the source, otherwise you are plagiarized or you do plagiarism. Okay, for example, I take quote like this one based on Cambodia Daily, October 2015. This is the quote or the phrase that I use in order to avoid plagiarism. Or if you don't want to use this style, maybe like scan one. Yes, ADB 2016. So the first reason you can see, sorry, this is number. This is number. This is number. This is number. That's why the first reason why do people taking statistics, because we need to understand numerical information. Why do we need to understand this numerical information? Because these numerical information are very important for our life. When we got this number and we don't understand this number, what happened to you? Okay, what happened to us? We don't know. We don't know what does it mean, this number. But if you taking statistics will tell you, okay, this number means like this, like that. Okay, for example, $140 per month. What does it mean? It tells us about minimum wage. If you go to work in garment factory in 2015, the lowest salary that you get 140. Okay, so you can get more than this one. That's why you can decide, okay, if you maybe the factory owner or maybe the accountant in the factory give the salary less than 140, this is wrong. That's why is it wrong? Because you understand based on the law, I must have $140 per month based on the law, minimum wage law. If you give me less than this amount, okay, I can complain to the government. But if you don't understand, okay, you accept, but actually you lost some money. That's why. This is the reason why we take statistics. There are the other. See the pictures of USA Today snapshot. This is based on textbook. Page 3. What is statistics about? Okay, you can go to page 3 and you can answer this question. What is statistics about? Okay, first reason. Second reason, taking statistics because we want to know how statistical techniques, how statistical methods are used to assist or for helping the efficient decision making in daily life. Okay, so the first, we take statistics in order to understand the numerical information, and then second one, we take statistics because we want to know what techniques, what methods are used for help us, for assist us in making decision. Because everyday life, any people, you must do making decisions. You must create choice and choose the best choice. Okay. For example, insurance companies use statistical analysis in order to set the rates up for home, automobiles, life, health insurance. Okay. So if without statistics, insurance company maybe provides a wrong premium to the insurance customers or clients. For example, if I have home, I want to buy insurance for my home. So how much I pay for a month to the insurance company? If my home has problem, how much do they pay me in order to reconstruct or in order to rebuild my home? Okay, that's why insurance company need to understand me by using some statistical technique in order to analyze. That's why after analyzing result coming based on this result, insurance company will ask me to pay. Okay, I paid like I paid that amount of money per month. So if my home has problem in that year, I got amount of money from insurance company that will pay me. Okay. Statistical techniques are used extensively by marketing, accounting, quality control, consumers, professionals, sports people, hospital administrators, educators, politicians, and physicians. So statistical techniques used by almost every people in the country, in the world. Why? Because statistical techniques can help us to get the right decision or the correct decision. Third, why do we need to study statistics, or why we need to take statistics? Third reason is to use knowledge of statistical methods to realize why decisions are made and give us better understanding of how these decisions affect us. Okay. The third, to use the knowledge that we get from statistics. So to recall again, why do people take in statistics? One, to understand the information, numerical information that we encounter every day. Okay, this number, what are this number for us? This is the first one. Second one, to know the techniques. Okay, to know the techniques. Why this number coming? How this number coming? What technique that they use in order to produce this number for us? That's why we need to know the techniques. Okay. The third one, in order to use, third one, we use statistics in order to use the knowledge that we take from statistics, that we get from statistics, in order to realize, in order to understand, in order to know why decisions are made. Okay. Why decisions are made. So this is the reasons why people taking statistics, or why people study statistics. There are three reasons. Okay. In order to make an informed decision, definite decision with the full information, we require statistics that enable us to be able to: 1. Determine whether existing information is enough, adequate, that means enough, or it's not enough. Do we need more information, or more information required? Okay, or more information required. 2. Getting or collecting more information is not enough in order to obtain a full aspect or full coverage of data that we want. Third, organize this information into useful form. Okay, because the data we collect from the source that we want to sometimes are messy. That's why we need to clean, make it clear, and then organize it into the base database that we want. That's why the third one, organize information in a useful and informative manner. 4. Analyze the available information by using statistical techniques or methods. Okay? 4. Analyzing, calculating, estimating the available information that we have in our hand. In order to analyze, normally we use a way, use techniques, or use methods. Yes. 5. After analyzing, result coming. When result coming, try to interpret this result. Try to explain this result. So, number 5, draw conclusions and make inferences while assessing the risk of an incorrect conclusion. Just because we're talking about statistics, normally we make decisions. In order to make decisions, you need to have data. So great data, the first one. If data is enough, maybe second one, no need. But if data in our hand, you think that is not enough, that's why second step must be collect more data in order to get a full aspect of data. When we got a full aspect of data, that's why clean this data, organize this data into our data set. When we have data set, we can use techniques, statistical techniques or statistical methods in order to analyze, in order to calculate, in order to estimate. So after analyzing, after calculating, after estimating, result coming. That's why we can give explanation or conclusion based on the result. But sometimes those results have mistake or error or risk. That's why try to understand what is the risk. Is it a big risk or serious one, or just a small risk, a small one? Okay. So in order to make decision, informed decision, we require statistics that can help us to 1. Collect data. Is data in our hand enough? Okay, go to clean and organize. If not enough, okay, collect more, and then clean, organize into the data set. When we have data set, we can analyze. After analyzing, result coming, so interpret or understand the result. Despite this result, help us to make decision. But before using this result for making decision, check the risk or the error of the result. If the error or the risk is too small, okay, we can use it for making decision. But if the error or risk are large, okay, not that one. What does it mean, statistics? Next point is about definition of statistics. In the more uncommon usage, statistics refers to numerical information that can appear in 2 forms. 1. Graphic form. Another one, text form. Graphic form, you can see graph, table, or pictures. Text form is writing form, but those writing have numbers inside. Text form with values or percentage. Values is about number, percentage, yes, also number inside. So numerical information can appear in 2 forms, graphic form and text form. Statistics is the art of learning from data. Statistics is art of learning from data. So, what is statistics? This is the definition of statistics. Statistics is the social science that is concerned with collecting organizing, analyzing, presenting, interpreting numerical data for the purpose of assisting in making more effective decisions. Okay, so when you look at overall statistics, it's linked to why do we take statistics. We take statistics in order to make informative decisions. That's why, in order to make informative decision with the full information, you need to have data. That's why, in order to have data, you need to collect data. And then data that you collected sometimes not clean, not messy. That's why clean and organize into the useful form, useful data set. When you have a data set, you can use techniques in order to analyze, in order to calculate, in order to estimate, and result coming. When result coming, you need to present your result. Present to whom? Present to the users. Or interpret the result. Sometimes when you present, you not maybe explain too much. So user maybe still not understand. That's why try to interpret. Okay. So when they got this one, they can use this statistic for making effective decision. So what is statistics? The statistics is social science that is concerned with collecting, organizing, analyzing, presenting, interpreting numerical data for the purpose of assisting in making more effective decisions. Okay. The other point is data. So when we look at this one, we need to collect. Collect what? Collect data. We need to organize. Organize what? Organize data. We need to analyze. Analyze what? Analyze data. We need to present. Present what? Present the data. Okay. So what is data? What data are the facts or the figures collected, analyzed, summarized for presentation or interpretation. Data are the facts. For example, how old are you? Maybe you answer as I am 22. 22 is your data. Fact. Where are you from? Or what province are you from? So when you answer, I'm from maybe Takao or Kampong Cham. So Takao Kampong Cham is your fact. That's why I collect. Until I collect one by one, I can analyze how many students from this province, how many students in this age. Okay, that's why I can. That's why I can do just making decision for, or I can make plan for my class. All the data collected in a particular study are referred to data set. Data set. What does mean set? Set is group. That's why group data for that study. For example, if I want to understand all of you, how many of you that were doing good at mathematics in high school, that's why I collect all. When I collect all of you, when I clean, and then I got the data that study about behavior, mathematics behavior in high school from this class. Statistical data collection is a meaningful ways to get data set from sources that we want to know. Okay, statistical data collection is a meaningful means or ways to get data set. We want to get data set. We want to get data. Data together, we got data set. But in order to get data set, you need to collect. Okay. If you use the wrong or not proper data collection ways, your data will be not respond to your purpose. Not respond to your purpose. That's why data is important, but In order to get the good data, correct data, or useful data, the way to collect is more important. So statistical data collection is a meaningful means to get data set from the sources that we want to know. It is a tool. It's about here. It's about data. It is a tool to understand the various situations of society at one time and to understand how these situations changed over time. So based on data, you can understand, you can see, you can know what happened at that time. And based on data from time to time, you can understand what something changed. Okay? What something changed from time to time. That's why data tell us something happened at one point in time. And based on time series data, we can understand what have changed from time to time, from day to day, from year to year, month to month. Okay, so this is about data. Generally, there are two types of data collections. This is about data collection. Okay. Generally, there are two types of data collections. Primary data collection. Primary data collection, that means should be, I can say, primary data collection, or maybe directly data collection. You go to collect data directly from the one that you want to know, from the thing that you want to study, from the place that you want to understand. Okay, observation. This is a primary data collection because direct. If you want to observe someone, you go to see them, but not making conversation with them. Just see them, what they behave, what they do. You just note, take note, observe. Okay, observe. The other one, census survey. It's similar to observation. Observation, you just see but not make conversation with the one who try to get the data from. Okay. For example, maybe you go to take maybe machinery work. You don't make conversation with machine. You just run the machine and sit to see how machine work. In terms of sound, in terms of speed running. Okay, it's a problem when it sounds different, or when they run faster, slower, sometimes faster, sometimes slower, not usual speed. That's why the machine have problem. Okay, but census survey is the other primary data collection that we need to contact, make conversation. Okay, for example, people, you go to ask people and then ask them, they answer. When they answer, you need to take note into your phone, into the list. Or if you want to study about machine cannot make conversation with you, but the machine owner can answer your question. This is about census or survey. The other one, experimentation. Normally this is talking about maybe in medical, yes, or medical, or maybe in physics. They do the experiment. They do the test. They put some input into one, and then they make it to see the reaction, and then if something happen, we take note. Okay. The other types of data collection is secondary data collection. Secondary data collection, I can say that indirect data collection. Normally, if you use secondary data collection, you're not going to meet directly. Indirect. For example, you want to study about something, maybe in one country, maybe you don't need to go to that country. Just go to get or collect data that print or publish about that country. So you can go to print or electronic. Print means hard copy, electronic means it should be soft copy. Okay, this is a print textbook or newspaper, journal, magazine. But electronic, for example, you can go to internet and you can search from them. Okay, if you want to go to or you want to know about, for example, how Japanese worker work, maybe you can read newspaper talking about Japanese worker, or textbook about Japan, or maybe you can go to internet and surfing about how Japanese worker work. So you don't need to go to Japan, just use a secondary data source in order to collect data. So there are two types of data collections: primary data collection, secondary data collection. Primary, I can say direct data collection. Secondary, I say indirect data collection. Types of statistics. There are two types of statistics, as I mentioned earlier: descriptive statistics and the other one, inferential statistics or statistical inference. So what is descriptive statistics? What is descriptive statistics? Descriptive statistics refer to statistical methods or techniques given to the analysis of data that helps us to describe, to show, to summarize the data in an informative way. So descriptive statistics is the techniques that we use in order to analyze, for help us to describe. Okay, given to analysis of data that help us to describe, to show, to summarize something in informative ways, in informative form. For example, here, Cambodia minimum wage in garment factory, textile sectors or factories was 140 in 2015, was 145 in 2016, was 153 in 2017, and this is based on previous, was 170 in 2018. So this is about descriptive statistics. Based on this number, I can describe the money income for any worker who work in garment factory. Okay, so descriptive statistics utilize the methods of organizing, summarizing, and presenting the data to describe the data by applying two general measures. Two general measures. One, measures of central tendency. The other one, measures of spread. Maybe yes, not maybe. You already took this one. Measures of central tendency was about mean, median, mode. Measures of spread is about deviation, standard deviation, variance. Okay. So it utilizes the method organizing, summarizing, presenting the data to describe the data by applying two general methods or measures, not methods, measures. When we use descriptive statistics, it is useful to summarize our group of data using a combination of 1. Tabulated description, tables; graphical description, graphs or charts; statistical commentary, this is about writing, discussion of result. When we use descriptive statistics, it is useful to summarize our group of data by using these three forms: table, graphs, chart, or maybe writing discussion. Note: descriptive statistics only help us to describe the data that we have analyzed. Describe the data, describe the result that we already calculated. It does not allow us to make conclusions beyond the data that we have analyzed, or reach a generalization, or reach generalizations regarding any hypothesis we might have met. Okay, so if you use descriptive statistics, don't make conclusion beyond the data. Okay, you see this number, don't try to say something, don't try to do conclusion beyond this number. If you see this number, try to understand and interpret this number. Don't say something behind this number. If you want to say something behind this number, you need to use inferential statistics. Okay, I can give you example. Okay, let's suppose that we are in the class. I can see you. I can see you. I can describe you. I can say something about you. I can say something about you because I can see you to the class. Okay, for example, your hair, your eyes, your skin color, or maybe your height, your build. Okay, this is I can see it. I say something about you into the class, but I cannot generalize. I cannot make conclusion. I cannot say something about your brother, your sister, that I don't see them, but I just see you. I try to say something about your brothers at home. Your brother is not in the class. I don't see them. I just see you, but I cannot base on you say something about your brother or your sister. Okay? If I use descriptive statistics and I do that way, this is wrong. Because descriptive statistics help us to describe the data that we already analyzed, that we already get. Okay, so you are in front of me, I can see you. After seeing, after checking, after examining you, I can interpret or I can say something about you. But I cannot say something about your brother or sister based on your appearance, based on your data. If I want to do this one, I'm not using descriptive statistics. I will use inferential statistics. Okay, so this is the difference. Inferential statistics are the statistical techniques that help us to use a sample of analysis of data to infer, to estimate, to predict, to generalize about population. Okay, about population. So we will look at later on what does it mean sample, what does it mean population, sample or population. Inferential statistics utilize the methods of estimating, predicting, and hypothesis testing of sample to infer, to generalize the population. It means that, in short, a sample is small size, a population is a whole size, a small size and a whole size. For example, your class, let's say your class have maybe 50 students. I want to study all of you with these 50 students, but I don't have time. That's why I maybe select among 50, I just select 20 or 15 or maybe 10 of you, and then I try to ask 10 of you. It means that 10 of you represent this class 50. So I study this 10 student result coming. Based on the 10 student result, I try to say something about all students in this class 50 student. So if I do that ways, this is we call that I use inferential statistics. Because I based on the small size student from this class, try to say something about student in this class for all. Okay, so in order to do so, I need to use estimating methods, predicting method, or testing method, or ways, okay, or techniques. Estimate of parameters from statistics. Okay, we have parameter here. We have statistics. Statistical hypothesis testing. Inferential statistics can also call statistical inferential or inductive statistics. Okay, this is the other name of inferential statistics. Next, types of statistics again, but next is about dataset. A sample and a population. It could be, I think I can say that a sample dataset or a population dataset. A sample dataset is a portion, a part of population of interest. Population interest. A population is a collective of all possible individuals, objects, measurement of interest. What does mean interest? Interest, what I am, I want to study, what I want to know, I like to know, I like to study. So interest. Okay. So you can see, this is English alphabet. Normally, English alphabet start from A to Z. There's no more letter beside A to Z. All. So every element from A, B, C, D up to Z, all together, this is we call population data set of English alphabet. But I want to study all of them. I want to study all of them. However, I don't have time. I don't have resource to study all of them. That's why I select part of them to study. Part of them to study. A part of them just I selected from the population. This is we call sample. Okay, sample. That's why this small part, a small size, sample all elements together, size. This is population size. I can say that yes, based on my earlier example. Suppose that your class has 50 students. So all students sit in the class here, like this one. But I want to study all 50 students in this class. However, I don't have time, I don't have resource to spend to study these 15 students. That's why I just select some students to group up a small size. Small size, less student, less resource using. That's why I use this one. I analyze this one. Result coming. When result coming, I try to say something for all. This is I'm using inferential statistics. Okay. So inferential statistics. You see this, but we say something about that. Based on this, we say something about those one. That we don't see those one. Okay, we can see statistics and we can see parameters. Statistics parameter. Okay, go to that one. Parameter. A parameter is a numerical measure that describes characteristics of population. A statistic is a numerical measures that describe a characteristic of sample. Maybe some of you don't understand. Okay, let's go back to the previous slide. Okay, I will look at all. Just look at this one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, up to Z. Each of them we call parameter. Parameter is a numerical measurement that describe characteristic, condition, or something belong to population. I take B from here to group a small one. This is B. B here and B there, the same. But they have different title, different name. B here is statistics. Statistic. B here is parameter. They are the same B, But why sometimes they call B statistic, sometimes they call B parameter? Because different condition. They are the same B, but they stay or they are in different condition, different yes condition I can say. B here with all, despite every here we call parameter, but B here just small size from this one. This is we call statistics. For example, this is a car sold. This is number of cars sold in this month. Okay, I just select a part from this car sold to group a small size. This is for statistics. We call sample. This is we call population. Let's say this car is parameter. But if I take this car to group in small one, this car we call statistic. Okay, so this is the difference between statistics and parameter. Sorry. Reasons for sampling or sample. Normally we use sample size, sample data set, not population data set. Why? Sample data set is small compared with population data set. When we have a small size sample data set, we can spend less cost. That's why we can save cost, spend less. We have less participants, or less participation, or less participants, less the people joining. We have less problem to solve. Yes, normally less people, less problem. Easy to manage the data. Yes, small data is easy. Like if I have two classes, one small classes, one big classes or large classes. Small classes easy to manage because less people, less problem, less effort. But large classes are not easy to teach. Okay, so practice. Take your understanding. Go to practice. Self-review 1.1 on page 8. Page 8 you can see self-review on 1.1. Try to understand and answer the question on page 8, self-review 1.1. This one. There are two questions, A and B. If you can answer correctly A and B, it means you understand what I have mentioned, I have explained earlier. Okay, so maybe I stop by that slide for this session.